Are we on? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Microphone check. Lights, cameras. Hit me. This is swanky. This is lifestyle. This is culture. Welcome to the social center of everything culture. Culture Daily.
Happenings in the past 24 hours with Yvonne Nelson's I Am Not Yvonne Nelson book, which has been trending. News coming in. The book is at number 3 currently on Amazon. Interesting, right? As people are chasing after the content as well. Well, there's more to the book than just what is written in there, as it serves a bigger purpose, and that's going to be our narrative this morning on Culture Daily. Time check is 8:56. If you're live on Plus FM as well, it's good to know that you are with us here on the show. We're going all the way till 10 a.m. But before we jump into any heated conversation, it pays to keep it in the family. What am I talking about? I'm talking about ZPay to ZPay. Now, send money from one ZPay mobile money wallet to another and get a bonus. Switch to ZPay mobile money to get more and pay less. Receive a bonus every time you send money from ZPay to ZPay. Like they say, Jimmy D. Now, let me tell you this about this incentive you get. Get a 5 CD bonus every time you send money from ZPay to ZPay. It's easy. Just dial *270#. Press option 2 to send that money. Then easy does it. You can just chop your bonus, all right? Well, also, it's a great time for you to step into Silverbird Cinemas because we've got some new movies out there and big ones, big titles as they all come alive, like the Catch Spider-Man, that's the Across the Spider-Verse, The Flash, Transformers, that's Rise of the Beast, Barbie, Mission Impossible, Indiana Jones. You can also get some Nollywood, Hollywood, and Bollywood movies on there. Top quality Ghanaian movies showing all at the Silverbird Cinemas. For more information, just jump onto their website at silverbirdcinemas.com/Accra or West Hills. It will get you there. Or you can also check their socials. It's Silverbird Ghana on all the social media platforms. Now, hey, how about smiling with confidence? It's very easy because every time you eat, food and sugars get stuck in between your teeth, which also leads to tooth decay, gum disease, and in some cases foul breath. So definitely lowering your confidence when you smile, all right? Now that's why Pepsodent Cavity Fighter is here with you, because it's fortified with pro-fluoride and microcalcium ingredients that seals those tiny holes and invincible holes in your teeth. Now prevents cavities, keeps your teeth strong and mouth very healthy. Pepsodent Cavity Fighter, like they say, maximum cavity protection, 10 times stronger teeth, 25 years of brushing teeth day and night. Pepsodent is recommended by the Ghana Dental Association. And lastly, also, switch up your gadget system in your homes, in your cars, in your ears, even when you're using your Bluetooth speakers. By discovering a world of innovation, a world of luxury, a world many of you dream of owning. It's a world of Bang & Olufsen. It's a particularly true brand in the ever-evolving realm of high-end electronics that you might love to own. You might find a showroom at Liberation Road, Atlantic Towers in there, where each passing day, month, and year, a variety of drew-worthy new electronic gadgets ranging from home theaters, TV sets, headphones, speakers, and soundbar products are always released. Bang & Olufsen, like no one else. Like no one else, Yvonne Nelson set the tone yesterday in a major conversation which has gone very viral on social media. Now, there's a bigger angle to this, as is what we are going to look at, not necessarily narrowing it down to the nitty-gritty details of the book, but to the overall purpose of what it says about celebrities and how they even handle and manage issues when it hits them, how they seek therapy, if it's even going to be a confidential conversation between therapist and celebrity, all these things, even talking about celebrities going to hospitals to go and check on their own health and not even turning into content for people to put out there. All those things become issues around how to deal with therapy, how to deal with stress, depression issues, personal issues when they hit you. Well, Yvonne has found one way of dealing with her own self-therapy through writing a book documenting her story out there, which definitely has gotten public interest. And this morning, that is going to be our conversation. Don't forget, we are streaming live on our YouTube channel as well as we are also live on Plus 89.9 FM and on your screens on 3 Music TV. My name is Shay Foley. Candid, Olele, and Cyril are all here with me to start the conversation. Guys, Olele, I know you've gone through 1,001 already times trying to break it down, but in all of you, in your opinion, what do you make out of, what sense do you make out of the action of documenting a book so detailed on her life story and things that people might think might be personal, but making it an open book for people to read? Olele, I'm starting off with you.
Relief, freedom. People have resorted to all sorts of things to escape, the pain of their past, and she found that escape in writing, a book. One would think that doing what she loves, which is acting, would have been that escape, but clearly she's been living the life of a movie all these years, because even the name she bears is not hers. The father that she was supposedly named after wasn't her dad, and the other father too, that may have been the father, according to DNA test, wasn't her dad. So the Nelson on her name, which is Yvonne Nelson, that we all love to call her by, that's not really her name. That's why the book is titled, I Am Not Yvonne Nelson. Everything that I have done, or everything that I have lived, apart from the career, the blessing career I've had, and the enterprises I have been able to establish.
Well, she's Yvonne, but not Nelson.
Not Nelson. Well, even the Yvonne, now we begin to ask questions, right? If indeed, is he want to say something?
Yeah, I have an alternative view for the title and the what it represents in my understanding. They say there's who you are and who you are raised to be by society. Because J. Foley becomes a brand, there are certain things attributed to the brand J. Foley. That whoever he really is within himself, his honest, deepest thoughts, desires, pains, whatever, he's not able to express or live that because he has to stay consistent to what people know J. Foley to be.
So they don't know John.
Exactly.
Yeah, they don't know John.
Yeah. But in Yvonne Nelson's life and career, she's been front and center for a very long time. Even before her big breakouts on screen and all that, she was a very bubbly person and everybody knew Yvonne Nelson. So that name alone, that brand that she's carried as Yvonne Nelson, it's like saying, how do I want to, when you go to the Mercedes workshop, right, and you actually see them rip apart the engines and they are doing the servicing, you kind of lose a little bit of
love and the brand.
Yeah, because when you think Mercedes, you think
it's all put
it's
together.
Perfect, right? It just needs to cruise by. But when you sit with the mechanic for an hour and he's ripping apart things and replacing things, you're like, you know what? Deep down, this is just another car.
Yeah.
And that glitz and glamour kind of fades a little bit. And that, for me, is how I understood I Am Not Yvonne Nelson. Because to everybody, when we say Yvonne Nelson, a brand kicks in our head.
Yeah.
Successful,
yeah.
Beautiful,
yeah.
Desired. Like these things you've given me, these titles you hang on my neck because you think I'm this person.
That's a different perception.
Yeah,
that's a different
how she perceives herself.
Yeah.
How she perceives herself. She doesn't wake up and look in the mirror and go, ooh, Yvonne Nelson. She wakes up and looks in the mirror and go, God, I don't want to do anything today. But nobody thinks that. Because somebody's dying out there going, hey, Yvonne Nelson this, Yvonne Nelson that. So that, to reconcile who you are and what the world has said you are, is a big battle that a lot of people who are especially front and center of the limelight have to deal with. Like, I was reading up on J-Lo and Ben Affleck this morning. They shut down, they were trending for Father's Day because she posted some picture of him in the six-pack and all that. And I was like, these guys were married and divorced and came back. And I'm like, these are just two regular people who really like each other.
Yeah.
And the world and their stardom probably got in the way.
Yeah.
And it was, but you see, the reason why they probably couldn't do it the first time round was because she was J-Lo.
Yeah.
And he was Ben Affleck. Right? They weren't just a guy and a girl.
That's way too high.
They were having their relationship like Abby Songa, they like this girl. But we were all on them the whole time Like Ben Affleck and J-Lo are dating. Ooh, they went for lunch. Ooh, they did. It becomes almost obnoxious and impossible to be who you really are.
I've been there.
Yeah,
Yvonne actually talked about what you're saying in the part where she actually addressed a situation that I'm trying to remember on Twitter. A troll, who had actually, for some reason, identified that she was wearing the same slippers everywhere she went. And just to summarize, the troll just kept pushing that narrative that so after all the money
Yvonne Nelson pa,
for mommy now with me day.
But Yvonne Nelson can have favorite shoes.
You get, but even with this, it's just like you say, like today you may wear perhaps a Nike today, right? Tomorrow you wear an Adidas. The person might not see the Adidas. The next time you wear the Nike, that's when the person sees it. So psychologically, they think that
but the regular person doesn't have to do that battle.
Exactly.
The regular person puts his foot in any shoe that feels good and goes about his business. But you have to take your depression and your rent is due and your school fees and all your problems and add the fact that you also have to stay on brand. And that is, for me, the conflict that this book title is trying to solve in my perspective. I am not Yvonne Nelson, as in I am not this brand you people have created
for me,
or about me. I am troubled. I have had my problems. I have not always been happy. I felt heartbreak. I have problems with my mom. I have burdens I'm carrying. Like this perfect. When you say Yvonne Nelson, everybody thinks perfect.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks, nice girl, movies, money, everything.
Only what you see on the outside.
Yeah, exactly. And imagine hearing that the whole time.
37 years.
Yeah, imagine hearing that the whole time. And only you really know what is echoing
in your head.
Yeah. So for me, I think it's just her now telling us, this is who I am. I'm a normal human being. I dated a bunch of guys. I thought I was in love. Some of them were your favorite superstars. Some cheated on me. Some did this, some did that. You think you have problems with your parents? Well, guess what? Me and my mom are talking because of this, because of that. Blah, blah. You know your parents and you are set.
Talking about the mom, really, I think, Joe, I don't know if you want to...
Well, I was going to say, I think I definitely agree with what you're saying, Cyril, and you too, Olele. But people aren't talking about that, right? The book is about her life and the journey that she's been on. But the focus right now is about what's in her pants, okay? And the things that she's done in her past and the mistakes that she's made. That's what the highlight is about. So as much as she wants to portray, I am not Yvonne Nelson, we also have to sit back and say, well, why did you even put this in the book? Because that's not even what people are focused on. People are not focused on, the things that you struggle with and the challenges you face. It's really about, at this point, the relationships that you had, which is unfortunate. It's really unfortunate because that's what we're talking about today.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead. No,
Jay,
move the subject to a different.
Just go ahead. Because of where Cyril landed, I was going to talk about the whole mother, situation. I think she's actually the central character in this memoir or in this book. I think that if the mother had told Yvonne Nelson, for whatever reason, who her dad was, and truly showed her who her dad was, we probably wouldn't have had this book. Because everything that we are connecting to right now, it's coming back to the central relationship between Yvonne Nelson and the mother. And that's because she's lived a lie all her life. I did a post saying that even with her relationships, Yvonne Nelson was looking for her father in the men she dated.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
So did her mother always know this? Like her mom knew and she just continued to tell the lie?
According to the book,
okay, the
mom knew that the fathers or the men that she proposed to Yvonne Nelson as fathers were not.
Okay.
When she finally confronted the mother, for whatever reason, the mother would always remind her that, I wish I aborted you. And if you even look at the story at the bit where she was almost aborted, it's not like the thing was fresh. She was 6 months in, went to the hospital. The doctor at the hospital says, bro, if I do this, you are probably also going to lose your life. And my hospital does not have that policy to allow that. so I can't do it. And then Yvonne Nelson is born.
You know?
That's
Do you
tough.
get it? So you can imagine the traumatic experience or journey from being a baby all the way to you attain adolescence, you become a teenager, you become a young adult, now an adult. And all this while, your mother is putting a smoke screen.
My speculation is shame, Olele. My speculation is that whatever and whoever led to that situation for the mom, I feel to have been looking for a desperate, drastic solution as far as 6 months and all these things in this book. There must have been a big burden of shame that the mother wanted to dissociate badly from whoever
did what happened to her, basically.
Yeah, whoever. Because there's one thing, you know, like an unwanted pregnancy and blah blah blah. A lot of people are born every blessed day due to unwanted pregnancy.
Yeah, wedlock.
People tough it through and get it done. But to be that drastic and that intentional, I'm not a woman. Joel can correct me, but the only word that comes to my mind, I would want a woman to get rid or to detach from something and someone that badly would be shame. And then that questions the context within which shame would be a good enough motive
to speak up.
Yeah.
Because you see, let's just say times were tough when you were a kid, right? But you find your groove, you start a journey, a career that kept bringing you success upon success upon success, right? All through that period, you keep telling your daughter that your father was irresponsible. You know, so daughter lives with that all through, to a point where when she had the pregnancy, or when she got pregnant with Sarkodie, allegedly, right? Her motive was not to immediately get rid. The motive was to immediately get rid of the baby because she has already suffered the pain of not living with the father, and she wouldn't want to bring a child on earth without the father being around. So when Sarkodie says that, look, I won't be able to take responsibility because I'm still living with my mother, it made sense to her. Do you get what I'm saying? That's why I'm saying that the whole thing that we are dealing with right now is coming from the fact that she has already had to deal with something, so she doesn't want to repeat it. And we all go through it. My dad couldn't finish school, so it was an agenda for me to make sure that I go to school and finish and become who I am today. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's always that kind of cycle where you want
smart young man drinking cocoa and culture daily.
Well, my dad used to drink cocoa in Calabash.
Cocoa is very good. By the way, cocoa is very good.
You know, so I'm saying that, like, as children, you know, when you get a wind of some of the things that your parents have been through, you don't want to repeat that, talk less or talk more of giving that to your daughters or your sons, right? So she's justified in that regard. My issue here is when things got better and when the first expose came, knowing that Mr. Oko Nelson wasn't the father, why didn't the mother just tell her, look, girl?
All right. So the reason why I even stay away from the mother-daughter relationship issue is because we are not too, we don't know too much about the
we do. We are speaking to.
Let me read something. Let me read something out.
This is. I mean, just for purposes of opinion's sake.
Yeah.
This is the side of Yvonne through the eyes of Yvonne. There's definitely through the eyes of the mother as well.
Yes, but there are factual occurrences that she referenced. That both of them.
I'm not holding brief for the mother. I'm just saying that I mean there are always two sides of the coin. So
in understanding Yvonne,
nobody asked, no kid asked to be born. So it's still no fault of Yvonne to be born.
But the intentionality. Yes. That's what I'm saying. That the intentionality with which her mom allegedly tried to get rid of it and all that blah blah, to the continued intentionality
to hide
to hide the truth and adding on to using it as a form of control on Yvonne. Now, the statements, just a snippet. I mean, we won't read the whole book on air. When my mother was angry with me and really wanted to hurt me, she would tell me she had given birth to me by mistake. Whenever she said it, she knew how it felt. She knew she was driving a sharp nail into my heart. I could feel she really wanted to hurt me. Maybe she was just being truthful. Now, this is from her perspective. If your mother is angry with you, of all the things your mother can tell you, I wish I hadn't given birth to you is not discipline. It's something they mommy had top, a pain, a shame, a regret, whatever, that at the point where she's probably overwhelmed, her expression also is to say that. So my thing is that until we understand truly what that shame or that burden is that has kept the secret on mom's lips for all these years, we'll never truly understand how Yvonne Nelson processes her world. Because for all you know, the truth will not make things better. For all you know, exactly, the truth could be a whole different kind of whims.
That can turn this
and we'll all be sitting here going, "Ooh,
based on what Cyril is saying, I think as a person, as a writer, when I was documenting this whole lead conversation, and some of the things, the stories that people shared, because it was heavily influenced by real life stories, and happenings like this completely changed the narrative. Just imagine this. Now in the story, I'm just using that as based on what you were saying. That in the story that was, I wrote, where someone has known this equally, her mom, for over 21 years, knowing that this is the mom passes on, and a few years later, for you to wake up one morning and find out that the person who mothered you
isn't your mother.
Wasn't even your mother, and another person who's called you from nowhere, now says that I'm your real mother coming, and it changes I can imagine the confusion, the state of confusion that Yvonne is in.
Let me use like foreign examples, right?
How to process this? Sometimes you are not even don't have.
Bro,
you know what?
The
mental strength.
People have gone looking for their fathers.
Before you come in, I just want to say that to make it worse, right? We've seen countless times where even on Father's Day, Yvonne was celebrating the mother.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that. If it dates back,
I think I've seen it.
And those pictures are still on the internet where she celebrated the mother, called the mother a hero, called the mother a father and a mother who did what she had to do because the father was deadbeat and everything. So to go all through this public, expression of love and appreciation for your mom, and later find out that your dad, who supposedly was deadbeat, isn't, on his sick bed. Now you don't even get the opportunity to reconcile with him and say, look, I'm sorry, I didn't know this, blah, 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 blah. He's dead and gone. The only time you get to apologize to him is a book that he probably wouldn't read. But the days, the months, and the years of speaking hateful stuff,
I can share at least 5 links where kids grew up without a parent, and tooth, nail, hammer, and tongue fought to find out and trace their parents. And daddy's in jail, mom was a serial killer, dad was a rapist, all sorts of things. That as growing up and wanting and longing for that parent, the desire is so strong that you stay positive and optimistic that no matter what it is my dad. No matter what it is my mom. I really need to know. Do you get it? But you go find out. And just like the youth are not perfect, just like kids make mistakes, there's a lot of flawed adults there who have fathered a lot of kids, mothers and fathers alike. And nobody can hold brief for Yvonne's mom. That's her and her mom's relationship. But again, the intentionality of finding a cover-up dad, right? Not once. How many times?
3 times.
3 times.
Yeah, the DNA.
So there's let me get rid of it, even though it's too risky.
Yeah.
Doctor has to say, no, you will die before letting it go. Using it as a disciplinary tool. I wish I'd never given birth to you. Finding 3 different surrogates to...
Oh, you mean Yvonne Nelson's mother?
Yeah.
No, that was just one time.
No, but so it was just the... No, she said, and then she did another DNA test, and she did.
Yeah, the DNA test was.
So how many fathers? How many potential fathers did she?
On one father, she did it 2 times just to be sure. That was the Ajete
okay.
bit. Yeah, but the Nelson one, the Mr. Nelson one, she did it one time.
So there's 2 people in all.
In all, yes.
Yes, but I'm saying that these 2 people were presented by mom.
Yes.
Then I'm saying that the intentionality to want to get rid of this. Okay, you didn't get rid of it. Now the kid is there. Every time the kid does something wrong, I wish I never had you. I wish I never had you. Where's my daddy? Where's my daddy? Say, oh, Lily. Go and check. It's not Lily. Where's my daddy? Where's my daddy? It's Jefoli. Go and check. It's not Jefoli.
Then you can
exactly. And look at the intentionality with which mom is trying to misdirect
the daughter
or mislead the daughter. Again, comes back to my full stop. Shame. Shame would be the biggest.
I think it's not shame. No, even if it's not shame.
No, I mean, for me,
Cyril's point is to tell you that there's something that must be heavily guarded by the mom.
Yeah,
and I'm saying what could be what else could be that impactful that she knows would affect both her and Yvonne
if she lets it out. Because she doesn't know who the baby daddy is.
That's not what we are saying.
That would have been a shorter story.
Yeah, so
that's what I'm saying. That not knowing the baby, not knowing who the father of the child is, happens every day, and she wouldn't need to sustain this elaborate, complex story of saying it's this person, it's that person, and using
different people
and try. She's trying. It's misdirection. If you don't know something, there's no pressure. Charlie, I don't know. I'm sorry. Blah blah. That would have been a shorter conversation to tell her daughter that I don't know. I'm sorry, I let you down. I didn't live the best life, or I let myself go at the point, and blah blah. But I'm always going to be there for you. Don't replicate my mistakes as a mother. Let me guide you. This is where I went wrong. That's an opportunity for a mother and a daughter to even bond there on that. If the issue in my fantasy, if the issue was the issue was that indeed it's just an issue of she doesn't know who the dad is, that's a cut and dry situation, and the opportunity to heal from that situation and use it to empower your daughter and learning is right there in front of all of us. But the conscious effort to try and get rid of it. 2, use it as a tool for manipulating your daughter. 3, extend it to now allocating people who you know very well are not the father. That is intentionality. And you are only that intentional when you're trying to cover up something that I keep saying carries so much shame that you the persons don't even want to believe that this is your reality.
Maybe Cyril too.
You get what I'm saying?
We might want to take out the word shame and just use a secret that has to be guarded life and death. To that point, because like he's saying, it's broken it down nicely that if it's something that this is an opportunity as well for the mom to reconcile in the best of ways.
Why would you see your daughter go through that?
However, whatever she's holding back might be that much of grave danger to both, whether emotionally, psychologically, physically, that I'd rather keep it to my grave, to casket, than to let it out.
But she's seeing her daughter suffer, right? She's seeing her daughter and her relationship dwindle and rot because of the same question. So she has 2 choices. Do I want to just tell her and save my relationship with my daughter, or is the secret that important that I'd rather keep the secret at the risk of...
Okay, guys. We have a cool 30 minutes to go, but I want us to now shift the convo to the state of mind or the decision, the choice of from Yvonne to document this, her life journey to this fine detail print to put out, and what's state of mind she is, and where has she reached? What point in time can we say she's reached in her life for her to want to take such a decision? Of course, we're in a digital era where consumption of information is for everybody everybody has a way of understanding things. There's a social impact. There might be negative impact, there might be positive impact, all kinds of things. Now, looking at her psyche, also post the release. What can be her state of mind? Of course, we wish we would have had Yvonne in to talk to her about it. But
whoever
at this point in time,
first for an interview after this book.
I know, right?
Bro, you're going to break.
But I don't think she shared that to anyone easily. Yvonne, put that on your own YouTube.
I think I'm told there's a documentary on the way as well.
Make your own money from it.
I'm told there's a documentary on the way as well. So we're looking forward to that.
So we said I will say that it was either counting dollars, counting emotions. Which one are you counting? Are you counting dollars or are you counting emotions?
I think, like you're saying, a lot of Ghanaians were saying that there's too much detail, too much information. Why putting out this and that? But if you've read memoirs and autobiographies, you know that there are no rules to it. Really, you are in control of what you want people to know, and especially sometimes when you have come to a place where there's closure for you. This is the way you actually give closure to the situation. Having people have a bite of your story and able to uphold you in a different light and also relate to you as human. When Meghan Markle did the did an autobiography on her time at the Queen's Palace and the kind of things she went through and she suffered because of her relationship with the Queen's son. She went into nitty gritty of it. When both of them also had that interview with Oprah, that popular interview with Oprah, they also revealed some things that we had no idea or no business even trying to think that it would even be a possibility. It's the same thing with Yvonne Nelson in this situation.
So I'm asking, is it? I have had it.
Yeah,
the world needs to know.
I think at this point in time,
I'm going through a certain, emotional state where I just need to let it off my chest.
Jay, it's two things.
Is it it's an era of content? Pardon me to say, it's an era of content. This would be great, ideal for people to learn from my story.
That's one.
So I want us to look into all the options.
That's definitely one. But what I think it's probably principal here is this might be the loudest call to whoever Yvonne Nelson's father is to find her, because she's done it.
But that's under the assumption that Yvonne Nelson's father knows that he's Yvonne Nelson's father.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, because the mother's picture has been there.
But what I say?
I'm laughing and looking at you.
Look at me in HD.
Hey. But yeah, I'm just saying that maybe, just maybe, a miracle located and bring the data, because after 37 years still trying to find your dad, your mom's still not telling you anything.
It can be frustrating.
It can be very frustrating, and I'm sure it might have taken a toll on her with her career. But I also want to say and applaud and encourage Yvonne that, look, this has got to be one of the most strongest people we have in the creative industry. Like,
that needs to be protected.
Yeah, she's like a true beacon of hope, because to have to deal with all these things, have your own relationship with other men, which obviously came with their own troubles. She talked about how Nollywood also, opened their eyes to certain things that she never saw coming. How to do with all these things, competition in the industry, and put your mind together in one space and write. I'm sure maybe she went for therapy, and they told her, okay, you know what, put this in a book, write this out, so that you can find that freedom you are looking for, find that relief. Someone will say, oh, she's trying to make money and blah, blah, blah. But look, people do...
Of course, she has to be paying for the hard work she's put in.
People do certain things.
Printing on a book is not free,
You get me? We've heard stories about people who have been through probably worse or a little bit under what she's been through, and they've taken their lives. We are grateful to see and hear that Yvonne Nelson is still alive. So I think
Good
the book...
point.
Yeah, we've seen people who have... dabbled in all sorts of, social vices. We may never even get to know their story, but this is the beauty of the story here, yeah? We've seen stories of superstars who just, boom, for whatever reason, you are wondering, you had all the money, you had all the fame, you had the exposure, what happened to you? We are even fortunate to hear an Yvonne Nelson story today, because if Yvonne Nelson had turned out to be someone else or something else, we would have come back on this same platform and say, she not try cry. Yvonne Nelson, the way they see you, the way they respect you, see what you do your body, see what you do. This. Meanwhile, these were the demons she was dealing with.
Okay. I don't know if anybody wants to add on to what would push her to the wall to,
Why is she doing this now?
Yeah.
I think that she's in a spot or space in her career now that she's able to say whatever she wants to. It's not like she's new to the industry where it could hurt her brand or her, or not be able to be appreciated or be listened to. So I think right now is a perfect time for her to do it, because all eyes are on her right now, and she's able to tell her side of the story. But I don't like that it's only her side of the story. There's other people that also should be able to back up what she's saying. And I'm not saying that she's lying, but allegedly, there's a lot of women out here that just say whatever they want to, and then later we find out that they were lying.
And so those people should also find an avenue or a channel to do. As it stands now, it's Yvonne Nelson's story, and we can only speak to what she's saying.
Well, there was also a legal bit where I saw some conversations online with regards to people saying that when you are going to publish books, or narratives like that may involve people's
seek their permission.
You might have to seek their permission. I don't know about that as well, and how that plays
as far as like name dropping and stuff.
Yeah,
it's your perspective as well as your experience. Two people experience the same thing. Both are mutually. They have the mutual right to express their experience. But you cannot narrate it from a perspective of the other person's perspective. You cannot from the angle of another person's perspective. You have to share from your own perspective. So the lion burst in. We were all there. What I saw was. Then you say it, but you can't.
I wanted to ask the house though. Do you think that if Sarkodie did not become who he is today, his name would have been captured in the book? Because, mind you, there's also Inyanya, who was also, a superstar, or if not still a superstar. We've also heard allegedly that she's had other relationships with other people in the industry, but they seem to not have had the same spotlight Inyanya and Sarkodie have had in the book. So one of the things I've been wondering or questioning myself is these are two adults who obviously had a consensual relationship, and obviously decided to take that decision to abort the baby. The only problem I think I saw from her narrative was Sarkodie took her to the center and left. Right? But the problem was not because they both decided to. In fact, she admitted that indeed Sarkodie was young and she was living with the mother, and he had a salient point there that, look, I know we messed up, but look, let's be honest, I can't take care of you. You also admitted that because of the situation you've had growing up without a father, you wouldn't want your daughter to grow up without a father. So fantastic point. When you read further, you notice that her pain was that when they went to the center, they left her there, and Sarkodie and Angel drove away. Mm-hmm. That I would not say.
Mentioned Angel's name as well.
Yeah, the manager, obviously at the time.
Well, she said the manager.
Yes, the manager.
You relax because this guy too was there.
Who was it?
Sammy.
No.
Dr. Duncan.
No, not Duncan.
Sammy Fosen?
No. There was
Charlie, there was a manager.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying that. Let's not
this early morning, go bring people them. I beg you, there was a manager.
Kosa was there, and all that. So we leave it at that.
We leave it at that.
Hey, I am not Kosa. People do work them.
So
I beg you. It's a manager.
So I'm just saying that. I'm just saying that that's clearly that was her problem. That look. We took a decision together. We agreed on something, and then you just took me.
They laugh when
and you left. So that's just by the way.
As you mentioned, Angel, though, I beg you. Angel,
so that's just by the way. So I'm just saying that we need to look at this differently now. If Sarkodie wasn't who he is today, would there? I mean, I don't know if Joe. Maybe you tell me. Sarkodie is the biggest fish here. Sarkodie is the biggest fish here, and that was what actually drove the sales of the book.
Right. That's what I think. That's what I think.
There's always going to be a catalyst.
Because, bro, why didn't she capture her relationship with Papi Kojo?
That's what I'm saying. That there's always going to be.
I want to know why she didn't capture Papi Kojo. When Monica Lewinsky
wrote her book, please. When Monica Lewinsky wrote her book after the whole Clinton scandal, she started from her childhood. The book that was about what happened in the Oval Office and they used Clinton's name and his presidency and his resignation to promote the book. The book started from
why would writers do that?
So it's always about you ask yourself that what has her childhood got to do with Clinton?
Yeah,
you understand?
Yeah, why would
that was leverage.
You're also a writer. Why would you write and put someone like that in there when? Is it because it's a big fish now?
Yeah.
Or you're looking for clout? Why would they do that? Or you want
promo is universal. Even the church, which is selling faith, promotes.
I see beyond.
Even the church, which sells faith and salvation, they promote. They do billboards. They do adverts.
I'm saying
anybody can do adverts.
I'm saying that
and the advert in this one is sack.
A publicity stunt. I see it as a fact. That's what happened.
It is a fact. But
so regardless,
how do you know it's a fact?
No, I mean, from what she's documented.
That might not even be his baby that they aborted.
No, hold on. You have a fair point. Like I'm saying, that's why I said earlier on that this is through the lens of Yvonne Nelson.
Right.
So we are, and Olele answered and said, so we are only speaking in context of what Yvonne Nelson has shared.
Yeah, that's her fact.
So, but however, we do respect the fact that there are always two sides of the story. And I'm very sure, for all you know, speculation. What if that day Sarkodie got a call from somebody or something that was pressing that he had to run off?
Right,
we don't.
Right.
Yes, so we don't know until we hear two sides. But of course, we won't hear both sides of the story. So we can only speak in the context of Yvonne Nelson.
That's exactly what I was saying. Sorry to cut you. That she, from her perspective, was left there.
Yes.
Maybe, if Sarkodie would ever, and I doubt he would ever speak about it, maybe he would say he had to go. There was an engagement he couldn't. Do you get it? But from one perspective, it's like they left me there.
But I told you I had to go. I told you that I had to go. So I told you don't go today, go tomorrow because I'll be free tomorrow. You say you go today.
There's a lot of context that we don't
around it.
There's a lot of context that it's nice to put one line of text from something 10 years ago there to sound however you want it to sound.
Yeah.
Or whatever happens, I just hope Sark also writes his book. Because I know some time ago
that wanted to be I am Sarkodie.
No, he actually teased out the title, The Highest, and like never before. I think if we are looking forward to that book, I just hope he addresses some of these things.
Before we switch into,
I want you to answer this question. Why would she mention his name?
Why would she mention this? I was saying that it is not Sarkodie as a brand that was mentioned. It was Michael Addo as the person who was in the conversation at that time that was mentioned.
Oh no,
regardless,
that was just formality. Jay, she mentioned Sarkodie after Michael.
I'm not talking about you are looking at Sarkodie as a brand. I'm looking at Sarkodie as Michael Addo. So Yvonne Nelson
in 2010
as a 22-year-old.
Yvonne Nelson mentioned Michael Addo, aka Sarkodie.
Mm-hmm.
That's what she mentioned. She didn't mention a brand Sarkodie. She mentioned the guy.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it is.
So
that's what I'm saying. That it's not about why did she bring Sark. No, she mentioned the fact. That was what it is, And fortunately or unfortunately, it reflects on a brand that is a person whose brand now is global. So it's to come with all its. And also, Yvonne wasn't the one who put out a part of the book. It was we, the media, or the people who read it first, who decided to go in for the what interests us. Mm-hmm. And for what interests us at that point in time, I'm sure the very first reader of the book found maybe the Inyana story rather exciting. Put that out, but before you realize it, I saw it on Ghana Web first, through our producer Dempsey, who showed it to me, and it was on the Sarkodie story. So clearly, to the editor of Ghana Web at that point in time, the first breakout story for him would be to go for the one that carries a lot of weight.
And this is why the editor would do that, because prior to the book launch, Manasseh teased that bit. There were two things Manasseh teased out: the Peter Alajete story and the Community 8 Tema-based rapper, or Tema-based Community 8 rapper, Tema Community 8-based rapper. Yes. So obviously, if you have the book, your first point of action, your first point of access or read is to look for that. Because when Manasseh put it out, I remember I was reading the reactions and people were actually calling him out like, hey, you better not be Sarkodie. Don't do that, your nonsense. Like, don't be trying to create that impression that the Sarkodie is this. And lo and behold, he came and was Sarkodie. But I think, all things being equal, these were two adults that took a decision. Mm-hmm. It was consensual. That's the most important thing. It's not because one was coerced to do something. They did it, and then unfortunately, what happened. But I'm just hoping that people will go beyond that bit, because really, Jay, the true focus of this book is a conversation that we need to have,
which I want to
which is African parenting.
Even beyond African parenting, in addition to African parenting, is the structures available are the right go-to centers and places with open arms available when in dealing with celebrities. Now, being a celebrity in this day and age is clearly different from being a celebrity back in a few years ago, because of the digital conversations. Now, people are now in your face. People can easily reach out to you and tell you their mind. So the reactions are all very different now, and are celebrities living themselves, or they're living a pretense to get things going? And what are the effects of this? Because if you don't start having convos around these things, you might be thinking that all is well with our people, and people just be dropping dead left and right, and I can only feel for a brand like Yvonne, like how Cyril was trying to create a different understanding of the title, I Am Not Yvonne Nelson, that for for a very long time, it is not the person that we've been seeing her as she is. And she's been dealing with this for 30-something years. 37. And she's just one. Mm-hmm. There are so many people. Look, let's go back to some of the trending stories on people and their relationships. Zandi, is this, what's her name?
Zandi Carmel?
Yeah, Zandi Carmel. Ifya Schwarzenegger. I keep saying that, it's, we're looking at a woman who possibly we're seeing one side of the conversation. What is the other conversation when the person goes to bed? These are reactions based on things. Everybody has a way of reacting. Even sometimes in Ghana here, by tribe, people react differently. Mm-hmm. You have the way a Fanti will react, the way a Ghana reacts, it's on and on and on. Then we come to people and their own psyche and what they've been through and how they react to things. We mentioned Abdullah Koko, and the back and forth conversations around here with regards to name mentions and all that. Like, there's the other side of it, but how is society, one, the education levels, not even education levels, how do we, the followers, the citizens, how do we treat people when they fall into the pit? How do we react to them? What are the conversations first that are put forward? I haven't seen a lot of posts, I haven't seen any posts yet that speaks to, wait, does Yvonne need any help?
At this point?
At this point. But the conversations are 99.9% trolls on, yesterday Twitter was just like a comedy theater. People writing all sorts, but very few people really addressing the critical issues that have been highlighted in the what people are going through. I got a call yesterday. Sorry to cut. I got a call yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday, around 4:00. And I'm sorry to put this out there from a gentleman. Names with her. I don't know him though, but he called me and said that, Jay, can I talk to you for 5 minutes? I said, yeah, no problem. And I'm sorry if I haven't called you back, if this information gets back to you. I got preoccupied. And he said that there's a girl I mentioned a certain region, that's who's going through so much right now, and she wants to end it. And I think it's stemmed out of frustrations in the music industry as a female artist, plus her personal life issues. And she needs help. I was caught up in the moment. What can I do? One, I don't know you who's calling me. I don't even know the girl. But at that point in time, what can I do? Like, where do I even know the go-to things? That am I well educated on what to tell someone who shares such information to us? What is society preaching? What are we teaching ourselves? And it hurts me that sometimes when these things happen, unfortunately, we look at the ready to punch and give the blows, and you can imagine at this point that even for Sarkodie, I haven't seen anyone even talking about his family, his mental state of mind. Yeah. Do you know what it feels like to be trolled?
Right.
Look, do you know what it feels like to wake up in the morning and your name is across the globe?
Even the kids
and
who
people
go to school
talking about you. You refresh your timeline. 5, 10 years, 20 years ago, there was no social media.
How many people? The people who are tweeting, talking, trolling. 2010, how sensible were you? This morning, how sensible are you?
Exactly.
2010, how sensible were you? What critical decisions did you make in 2010? Exactly. You understand too. We are so judgmental, and the hyper nature of stardom today is going to crush people's entire souls 10-15 years from now. When you come online and you are no longer relevant, there's going to be a big gap between your successful online persona and your real self.
So, you remember when we were talking about the red carpet?
Yeah.
And I said that it looks like now the agenda of a viewer on for somebody going on the red carpet is very soon slowly going to kill the creative abilities of fashion designers who decide, and then the models, because fashion has gone crazy now. Fashion has gone to more beyond expression, beyond self-expression. So people go on red carpets the way they want, the way they feel. It's a promotional platform for people. But guess what? What is happening in our country with red carpets is that it's gotten to a certain point where now it's become
a point of ridicule.
A center of ridicule.
It's a
so what is going to happen next year? People wouldn't want to go on red carpets.
Yeah.
Who's losing at the end of the day? The industry, the country, the fashion stylist, like everybody is just, So it sometimes gets quite frustrating finding yourself in this job. Once a job that used to be such a glorious place to be, and I won't hold brief for all people who are popular. People make mistakes. We are entitled to make mistakes. He who has not sinned should cast the first stone. Jay-Z said it. Black Sheriff has said it. Jesus, the Bible said it. You understand?
Jesus actually said it.
Yeah, Jesus actually said it. So we are all prone to making mistakes. But you wouldn't crush anybody for a certain level of mistake, because mistakes are mistakes. You understand? But let us cultivate a habit of looking to be solution-oriented than just critiquing and wanting to draw retweets and clout on our timelines, because that's what the world has become now.
Yep.
I am just wondering what Yvonne has gone through or what she's going through. In addition to that, when the other names that were mentioned in there, her mom, Sarkodie, Inyanya, Alajete, all these names that have been mentioned in there, like, what is happening to them?
She also actually name-dropped a number of people concerning the Doomsaw Must Stop campaign, and how, she was told by then the opposition party, which obviously is current government now, to, they were looking to use or, let her take some forms to represent the Ayawaso West.
Good. So just for me to wrap it up on what I was saying. So now when there's a fire, the fire service reacts, right? When there's a pipe burst, the Ghana Water Company reacts. When there's an issue of threat, the police react. When there's an issue of how do I describe it? Of a situation like this, which institutions are mandated to reach out to have conversations? Because this has definitely created, I don't want to say maybe a Twitter conversation, but for now, but definitely there's a certain national impact to such a thing. And a number of other young boys and girls who probably are going through crazy situations. People who want to end their life because of things they've been denied, frustrations of the economy. Like, what are the systems in place to try and suppress these things that people are going through? You ask yourself. Yes, the fire service react. When your phone falls in water, somebody will jump into the water and pick it up, right? But what about when I'm having a nervous breakdown?
Right, when you're having an attack.
When I'm having an attack.
Right.
Who's talking to me?
You see, Jay, when we share or we have people see things like what we do in the morning, you know, drinking cocoa from the rubber and all those things, sometimes it's not because we don't think about, TV, so yeah. No, it's not because of that. It's because we want you to know that we are human as you are. The same way you feel pain, we feel the same thing too. You know, if we're working together and I stepped on a needle, I would let out a scream that
as equal as yours.
You get what I'm saying? So I think also maybe it could be a way out for some of us who are always at front and center to also let go and let loose. You know, sometimes being caught up in the whole idea of being front and center makes you want to always do, you know, or go beyond your means. We know about celebrities who are renting clothes and renting cars and doing all sorts of things just to stay afloat and just to keep to brand, you know. And when you keep doing that and situations arise, you make it difficult for your followers to also see you in a particular light. I don't know if I'm making sense. In as much as what Jay is saying is true, and that I also think we also have that sense of responsibility to let people know, look,
let me cut you, my brother. Let me play the devil's advocate for the fans. I no send you. Yeah. That's what the I'm not saying you today.
If you not send me, then why you follow me?
You are on TV every morning, you want to complain that it's hard for you. Go away.
No, but if you know,
somebody else come and sit there and do the job.
No, but if you don't send me, why are you following me then?
Listen, it's like saying you want to be a boxer and complaining about getting punched in the face, right? Like, that's why you want to be a boxer.
So if you say it like that, then let me ask you this: what is also, if policies, responsibilities, experiences, and all these things border and guard you, the person who's put yourself on the front line, what is also you, the fan, your responsibility? Are we saying that the fan has no responsibility? The fan's
responsibility is to have sense.
No,
we are fans, though. I mean, we are all fans because we also follow people, so we are all fans.
If you are here,
when Jamie Foxx was having a breakdown, I think it wouldn't be a right. With a verified account.
Let me
go tweet something that might. I mean, like I saying.
But what I mean, I don't care.
Yeah, but okay? that is a sad part that we need to address.
Right? Because I still.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. If you sitting here, all of you, have never trolled, even privately or publicly, or laughed at some celebrity mishap or some hilarious situation that if it was you wouldn't like, but it was happening to somebody and you let out a good hearty laugh, raise your hand.
And no, we've been there. Wait, let me answer it. Let me answer it. And let me draw the fine line between what you just said, publicly or privately. I have every right to go to my house and laugh my head off.
Yes.
So far as my actions out there does not go to hurt or harm another person.
Yes. Perfect.
I'm allowed.
But when you do that, right, as a celebrity, you have placed yourself on public platforms. People are not writing letters to Yvonne Nelson. They are not sending her SMS. They are not in front of her house writing on her wall.
So
they are on her.
That's why.
Hear me.
Let's real finish.
They are on her public profile on social media, which is a public platform. Social media is the macular of opinions. To come and stand on social media means you are ready for what social media is bringing your way.
You finish.
If you don't want people talking to you on social media, trolling you, being all up in your timeline, lock your profile. Okay. It's right there.
In the
Make private. It's right.
I wish
Why is it not that easy? Celebrities cannot eat their cake and have it all. I cannot be here, serial, back, speaking. Then simultaneously too, I don't want people to come for me when they don't agree with my opinion. But the responsibility of having the opinion is that I need to be ready if somebody disagrees to take the criticism.
There's nothing wrong.
If I didn't want to take the criticism, I'll lock up my social media pages.
You're getting me wrong. What I'm saying is that when you jump on Facebook, before you subscribe, there are terms and conditions. You understand?
Bullying.
That would guide.
No, I'm not justifying cyberbullying.
No. Hold on. I'm saying something. Why? Let me finish. So these terms and conditions definitely would guide you on what you can do on the platform, and it cuts across all platforms. Now, clearly, they are doing this because they want to try and create a certain border of the kind of narratives that you can engage on there, and that is where it is going to. So what I'm saying is that in as much as we, the followers, have got every right to say everything that we want, we are also humans. And just as we are humans, we also should understand that we also have huge platforms equally that can cause, inflict all kinds of wounds. I've been a victim at it. I've said things. I've retracted my statements. I've apologized. I've moved on. It happens. But if we don't start cultivating the habit of also understanding that we are human, because we spoke about AIs in this room. What is technology doing to the human element of life? It is replacing emotions. It's getting people, at the same time, it's helping us to be able to develop, build, grow. It is replacing emotions. You understand? I mean, I'm talking to Siri now to tell me the time. Whether I shout at Siri, I don't shout. Siri is a robot. It will listen and tell me point blank, straightforward. You understand? So we also have to remember that we are humans, and we always have to apply that human element to the things we do. Hence, all I'm saying is that be a fan. We are all fans. We are all fans. I also follow other accounts, but let's be responsible fans, so that when things like this are going on, there are so many ways to look at it. And I'm happy. I saw some people put up. One guy put up a certain post. Went to post, I think, a Sarkodie and the children, and then people took him on. People took that account on. That, I mean, look, you can have conversations, but don't drag the kids into this. You understand? And I like that stance.
Yeah, because Jay,
it was good.
I think we also even touched on this subject once upon a time. The whole psyche that comes with being a fan in a fan army. They move in droves, and it's like they have an agenda. They have this focus to either rubbish what you're saying, or in their bid to disagree with you, attack you. I don't have a problem with disagreeing with my opinions, being on the public sphere. I don't have a problem. But the moment you move away from expressing your disagreement or expressing your opinion, and you come into a place of personal attack, oh no, then you gonna have it. I either block you, or I also tell you my peace of mind, because it's like he said, social media is the macular of opinions. So the fact that it's a macular of opinions...
I copyright that too.
Hey, it was you.
If I see it on a t-shirt, I'll command the t-shirt off you.
You get me? But even, even at Makola, everybody has got their
stores and stands.
You get me? You don't leave your store and come stand in front of someone's store and say, "Oh, mate."
But you know what happens at Makola? Because everybody has their shop and everybody has their stores, they come into the road. So it makes it hard for you to drive. It makes it hard for Okada. It makes it hard for you to even walk. So even in the function of Makola, as wonderful as Makola is, there is still dysfunction. And if Makola was perfect, you'll be able to drive your car from one side peacefully to the other side.
That is why the presence of the MTTD is required.
As this of the MTTD is blocking.
No, so the MTTD is supposed to ensure that
we use Ghana. So you realize using Ghana.
As you say, your man they lose. You're a bad ref. You're a bad boy. You're a bad boy. You are a bad boy. You are a bad boy. You are a bad boy.
That is what
bad boy. Bad boy. Bad boy.
So I mean, fans should be responsible. Really, fans should.
I beg you, leave the fans alone.
No.
It's like fetching water out of a basket. You cannot do that job. Fans should be which kind of responsible.
Make I share something with you. We all grew up. In fact, being a fan, there are actually stages. First, you grow up being a fan. You don't know anything about the artist or the celebrity you follow. You just see what they do in their work. Say if their movies, if it's music, you just give them all the shout outs or whatever. You see them in a particular kind of pedestal. But then you acquire knowledge. Bro. All right? You acquire knowledge. You grow. Then you notice that, okay, I need to move away from just being the fan who wants to only see the good. In the celebrity, the fan should take the responsibility to also grow. You don't just say that because you're a fan, you're going to be there and then just be hopping on. No, I'm just saying, I'm addressing what you are saying, and I'm using another thing to also address a bigger situation. Fans must grow. Fans must grow and learn that the celebrities you follow are human beings. They are not just celebrities. They were human before they became celebrities. If Yvonne Nelson did not make it out of the mother's womb, she probably would have been existing today.
So Rihanna is just a normal human being?
Rihanna is a human being. Fenty is a human being. You get what I'm saying? Fenty is a human being. So see, that is why Rihanna will put out her baby and someone thinks it is okay to go talk about the baby's forehead.
Ngozi. Why? If Rihanna posting baby forehead with the forehead big, I don't go feel laugh.
I don't have the number.
I don't feel laugh.
This guy.
You know what?
You don't have to talk.
You know what?
Bro, look at my nose. My big nose. They tell me all the time. I laugh with them. Ha ha. We move on. What's the problem? If Rihanna posting baby,
telling that your nose is if they tell you your nose is as big as a Lamborghini
why
is it V8 or V12?
Why are you talking like cartoon? Yeah, your nose, your face.
You're a bad boy. Bad boy.
But please add a name to it. I don't have the number.
Bad boy.
It says, I'm going to write a book entitled "Men Don't Talk, They Die Crying."
Men don't talk.
That's it. To co-author it. You should link up.
I was going to mention, I think that also celebrities are also to blame because there's a lot of celebrities that have very mean fan bases that send them and attack other people.
I know where you're coming from.
And so I feel like celebrities also take advantage of those fans.
I mean, that's you see, the fan army psyche is very interesting. And I was telling Ricky the last time that maybe we need to get the leaders of the fan armies in this country, SM, Beam, and then SAC Nation. I really want to get into their minds and see, what really constitutes them being a fan of
Die Hard, right?
Because
the question to add to it is, what is becoming the culture of a fan?
Yeah,
what is
because
becoming the attitude of a fan?
They've even changed how we consume music these days. First, when the music was out, you first think of it as music from Ghana. Whether you are a Lumba fan or you're a Kojoju fan, you appreciate it, you embrace it, right? But when
Cyril,
let
me ask Cyril, you the guy when Sark dropped in Ace Hood. What didn't we do to make sure it didn't work?
You're a bad boy.
Yeah. It's Ghana. How we consume music.
To make sure it didn't work?
Ideally, we wish the fans would get sense and do the sensible thing.
That's the perfect situation.
That's the perfect situation.
We can't have a perfect situation.
It's like trying to fetch water with a fork. My brother, I go to the chair. The crack of it is that look. I saw Caroline doing this thing where she was reading mean tweets. Charlie, that's how we should deal with it. Read the mean tweet, make light of it, laugh about it, and let the crazy person who has bundled. Somebody will bundle one CD. They can't insult you.
Let's be honest.
Forget the person.
Some of the things you can't look. No matter how hard you are, bro. There's some things.
Bro,
if you read some things, you see, Jeffrey, somebody ain't can't share.
Is a gangster.
Somebody ain't where you go to hard guy. So
that white things the guy. He cries small. You know they cry small.
Oh no.
Bro, maybe me. Listen, me. Battle rapper. Me, I go and be insulted. I'm used to it. I show up. I show up and say, "Have at me." So me trolling and those things.
It's like a woman or a guy playing a role in a movie. You as a battle rapper, that was your role in that setting.
So you know when I said that,
if someone sees you in touch, would you stand there and say,
bro? Guys, our time is up.
Maybe I'll be psycho.
You take it easy. You know what's even sometimes.
There was a quote I wanted us to
just before you touch on it. When you are an average person, not popular, you have a social media account, and then sometimes I'm just scrolling through accounts and I see something is happening. There's a feud happening on Snapchat between two people, and you see how they react even at the level of about 7,000 people following you, you see how people react and they come out and they vent. You can imagine how our Wendy Shays, our Ifasha's niggas, our I mean, you name them, Raquel's and co, and what they have been through as human beings. Yeah, you want to add it before you
say kindness is a language that the blind can see and the deaf can hear.
Amen.
You know whose book I'm looking forward to?
Who?
I Am Not Shatawale.
Who?
Oh, use your inside voice.
I didn't hear.
I Am Not Shatawale.
I am not Shatawale. On that note, it's 10 o'clock exactly. We have to sign out. Thank you so much. If you're live on Plus FM, listening to us as well, thanks for being here. We are back again tomorrow on your screens. Catch this podcast on YouTube later on in the day, plus 10 p.m. tonight on 3 Music TV. Squad. Yeah, go.
We're done.